Hi, and welcome to the Global Education Group's CME video blog, where we address emerging hot topics on the CME enterprise and share them with you. Today we're going to be talking about reactions to proposed changes in the PPSA, or Physician Payment Sunshine Act. As you may recall, the Federal Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, issued a final PPSA rule in 2013 that distinguished between direct payments from pharmaceutical and other industry companies to physicians and grant payments that were made for independent educational grants. Now, for those direct payments from industry to physicians, those became reportable into a federal database under the PPSA final rule. However, there was an exemption created for grant payments to accredited medical education organizations that were then used to develop continuing medical education activities. But in July 2014, CMS proposed changes to delete that exemption, or what's called the continuing education exclusion, in its entirety. Now, the CME Coalition, which is a Washington, D.C. based trade organization that represents CME industry stakeholders, and for full disclosure, Global is a member of the CME Coalition. That group responded to the announcement in a press release and vowed to fight the proposed rule changes. Now, through our analysis, there are three main reasons organizations are opposing these proposed changes from CMS. First, CMS just implemented its final rule after much debate and analysis in 2013. All of the stakeholders that tooled up to prepare to comply with that rule and are now doing so are now being faced with yet another change in the CMS final rule. So what folks are arguing is give it some time to play out. Now, a second reason that folks are opposing this new proposed change is that the standing rule provides an exemption for independent education grants for basically good reasons. In other words, those independent education grants are being paid to accredited medical education organizations, and those educations, or those groups, not the pharmaceutical companies, are making all decisions about who to hire for faculty, who to pay, and control that money directly without any influence from the pharmaceutical companies. The third reason for this opposition to this new CMS proposal is that there's no evidence that the current final rule needs to be changed. In other words, there have been no complaints or evidence cited showing that the current rule and the current final rule is not working. Now, we analyzed and surveyed several funding organizations, so the organizations that issue those grant funds. And in speaking with them, we learned that there is a mix of feedback at this time. Some organizations believe that this reversal on the part of CMS of the previous CME final rule would create confusion, and it would put further pressure on already limited CME grant resources. Other grant funders, however, do not see this as a major problem, since transparency reporting already has occurred on the promotional side of industry. And no matter what the result of the interactions, a final decision probably will not occur until later in 2014 and for possible implementation in mid to late 2015. Now, the CMS is accepting comments on the proposed changes up through September 2nd of this year, 2014. And we do encourage all stakeholders to provide input to CMS. As we learn more about developments with this proposed change, we'll be reporting on any updates. And as always, if you have any questions about this proposed change or any CME questions, feel free to contact us here at globaleducationgroup.com. For Global, I'm Stephen Lewis. Have a great day.